Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. It's Celisa coming to you from Beautifully Me and You. And today I thought I'd bring you another What I Eat in a Day on WW Blue in order to lose weight. Yes, WW Blue is a program that if you work it, it works for you. I'm telling you. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you to all my new subscribers and my other subscribers who have held it down and been a part of my journey the whole way through. I really, truly appreciate you, and I wanted to take this moment to say thank you. If you are new to my channel and you're not subscribed, go ahead and consider subscribing. I put out content just about once to twice a week, and I do have some pretty new, interesting WW ideas for videos that'll be coming out soon. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when they're released. And for everyone, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. That one small gesture helps my video in YouTube's algorithm to be suggested to others who might need this content as well. So, now that we got all that housekeeping out the way, let's get into the what I ate in a day. Okay, so this day at breakfast, I decided to stop at Starbucks and get some espresso shots because I had some shopping to do. I planned on bringing my Power Core protein with me, but I forgot it at home. So I stopped at the gas station and they didn't have any. I picked up this muscle milk with 40 grams of protein, and I only used half of it in my espresso. I didn't know that it was quite so thick. Half of it only counted for 2 points and the espresso was 0. But as you can see, it's very thick when it's pouring. I'm not sure that I should have mixed this in the coffee. Maybe it would be good as a drink. But once I went ahead and put it in the coffee, it all dropped to the bottom. So it took some work to get it all blended. But once I did, I went ahead and drank my espresso shot. And when I got home, I had a banana. During the afternoon, I decided to have for lunch a grilled chicken sandwich made with these ballpark hamburger buns, 2 russet potatoes I used, but one of them will be for my son, and the Purdue chicken breast in the Italian herb flavor. They come individually packaged and each chicken breast is 0 points. I went ahead and cut the potatoes into French fry sizes, and then I was gonna place them into the air fryer with seasoning, all the while grilling the chicken breast and preparing for lunch. Cooking my French fries in the air fryer has been my go-to recently. I only use about 2 teaspoons of oil and massage it into the 2 potatoes for the French fries for myself and my son. And I cook the air fried French fries on 400 degrees for about 15 minutes total. I think you're gonna see me program it for 12 minutes, but then I'll go back and add some additional time to keep them extra crispy. And to start the chicken breast, I only use 1/4 teaspoon of butter, which is 0 points, guys. So I use this on the bottom of my cast iron skillet to get the chicken going, and then you'll see me season. And because I'm a cook who believes in multitasking, I went ahead and started cutting up the tomatoes and the lettuce that I'm gonna use on my sandwich. And by this time, the chicken had been cooking for about a good 5 minutes. So I went ahead and did a flip, and look at that brown, beautiful chicken breast. I'm telling you. I shook up the French fries just to make sure that they have even color, and then went ahead and returned to assembling the sandwich so everything will be ready when it's done. I added a small amount of mayonnaise. I'm gonna say about a tablespoon worth is what I counted, and then some mustard. And because I like my sandwiches spicy, I went ahead and added some jalapenos diced onto my sandwich as well, and then I'll add the lettuce and tomato. everything will be ready, and all we'll be waiting for at that point is for the French fries to get done in the air fryer and the chicken to continue browning on the other side. Well, if you're anything like me, you can't wait to taste at least one French fry just to make sure that they're going to be just as delicious as you think. These needed a little bit additional time, so here's what I added the additional 2 minutes. This is everything plated. I brought the chicken breast over, split the French fries with my son, you'll see his plate soon, and then assembled my chicken sandwich. It tastes just as good, if not better, than Chick-fil-A's, and it only took less than 15 minutes to pull the whole meal together. The whole lunch was 11 points total. The bun was 4 points. The chicken breast was 0, lettuce and tomato 0. The mayonnaise was 3 points, and the French fries were 4 points with the oil included. On to dinner. I guess you could just say I was having a chicken-filled day because I felt like cooking some chicken and dumplings. So I used this whole thing of chicken broth as well as a can of Healthy Request chicken and cream soup. I ended up not using the chicken bouillon, it wasn't needed. I used these frozen Mary Hill dumplings. If you've never tried them, you should. Also, I used this Recipe Beginnings blend with carrots, onions, and celery. And then I used the chicken breast of a rotisserie chicken as well as a ton of seasonings. I also ended up using a small amount of butter to get everything started, and I thought I'd need some flour to thicken it, but it just wasn't necessary with the dumplings. To start, I put the butter into the skillet and then start with the Recipe Beginnings. I put about 3/4 of the bag in and then decided to add some peas because I think that'll go well with this dish as well, so I got some of those out of the freezer. I only used the chicken breast portion of the rotisserie chicken. Don't worry, the rest of the chicken didn't go to waste. I used it and chopped it up and made it into a chicken salad that my kids were able to eat on throughout the week with crackers and fruit. So all I'm doing is taking the skin off of the chicken breast as well as taking all of the bones out. And then I'm gonna do a really rough chop on it and go ahead and place it into the pot with the rest of the vegetables. This rotisserie chicken breast without skin and bone is gonna be 0 points, as well as the vegetables that I added with 0 points. The only thing that you really have to count for in this chicken and dumplings is gonna be the dumplings and a small portion for the can of cream of chicken soup, as well as the 1 tablespoon of butter that I started everything off with. This is an extremely low point dinner and it's very hearty. So here I am stirring the chicken and the vegetables and then putting some seasoning in. I started with some pepper. I added a small amount of adobo, garlic, and some onion powder. I wish I had some poultry seasoning, but I just didn't have any. So I added a small amount of thyme and then just kept it pushing. And it actually came out really good. And I'm sure you're looking at that spatula thinking she got all that seasoning on the spatula. But don't worry, I'm gonna get it off because next coming up is adding in the whole container of chicken broth as well as the can of cream of chicken soup. Now make sure you get the Healthy Request kind because that one is only 2 points per half a cup and there's 3 servings total in that can. So that really keeps the points low. Now at this point you have everything pretty much in the base mixed in and ready to go. The only thing you want to do is make sure the broth comes up to a boil before you start adding in the dumplings. And it doesn't have to be a rolling boil, but a pretty, gentle boil. And then you're gonna start adding in the dumplings. Now the dumplings come in sheets just like these that you're seeing me put in. I typically don't put over about 10 small broken sheets before I stir, because otherwise they'll clump together and you'll have one big clump of dough. So I'll put in about 6 to 10 sheets and then begin to stir. Now in the Mary Hill dumplings, 1 serving is 4 points, and that is for 5 strips of dumplings. There's only 6 servings of that in the whole package. So in other words, there's about 30 strips in the total package. I went ahead and added the whole 30 strips into the pot. Now, once you get all your dumplings added in, you pretty much just give it a stir and then wait for it to come back up to a low boil. And once it does, you turn it down to low and put a lid on it and let it simmer for about 30 minutes. And it's done. I added a little bit more pepper to mine just because when I tasted it, it didn't taste peppery enough. So let's talk about the breakdown in points. For the Mary Hill dumplings, 5 dumplings is 4 points. And there's a total of 30 dumplings in the package. I went ahead and added the whole 30 dumplings. So I divided this into 6 servings, this whole pot. 6 1-cup servings is what it ended up being. So that means for each serving, there would be 4 points for the dumplings, 1 point for the cream of mushroom soup, and less than a point for the butter. I served myself up a 1.5 cups of the chicken and dumplings, and I counted it for only 8 points because I'm not counting a whole 1 point each for the butter. But that's just me. It was time for dessert, and I bought 2 packs of frozen cookies, and my kids and I each had 1 sugar and 1 chocolate chip cookie. Super simple to make and so tasty. I feel like these are so convenient because you can just pop them in the oven and then be done. And those were 4 points each for a total of 8-point dessert. Well, that's everything that I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this What I Eat in a Day. And if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And catch me over on Instagram at WWSalisa. Take care.